Hello and welcome to another episode of the Mountain West Insider Podcast here on the Field of 68 Media Network. Jeff Goodman, Rob Dawser, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by Mason Falslev from Utah State. Mason, back-to-back 25-point outings, including a 25-point, 12-rebound, 3-assist performance, and a 77-69 win over Iowa that moves you guys to 5-0 on the season. First of all, we appreciate you being here. Second of all, is this what we're just going to do at Utah State from now on? New coach, new team, new everything, and you guys just go out there and win 100 games every year? Is that how it is at Utah State now?
No, man, I've been here because I redshirted my first year, right? So I've been through three coaches in 3 years. So I hope the streak stops. I can't lie. I'm sick of getting used to new systems and doing everything. So I don't know. I'm ready for that streak to die.
Compare the three coaches and the systems if you can, and which has been the most difficult for you to pick up. I know, again, you redshirted, that first year with Ryan Odom. Last year, obviously, you got Danny Sprinkle. Now you get Jared Calhoun.
As far as like their dynamic, I would say that the closest in comparability would be Odom and Calhoun. They were more offensive driven and they kind of coach the same way. They build you up and they want you to play green and just play with confidence out there. And, with Sprinkler, it was a little different. Obviously he wanted us to go out and play confident, but, everything was defense. And, he believed that defense led to offense, which it did. And he did a phenomenal job coaching. And
And he got into you. Wait, Mason, he got into you guys, did he not?
Yeah. Yes, he definitely did, and he got the most out of us for sure. I'm very, fortunate because I think he gave me a chance when a lot of other coaches wouldn't. And he really wanted to see who had the guts, and he played no favorites by any means, and he let you work for a spot. So I'm very grateful for him.
Why does it work like this work at Utah State the way that it does? And what I mean by that is it feels like no matter what happens, you guys are going to win a whole bunch of games. And it just feels like one of those things where it's the program is consistently good. Is it because of the backing that you get from the fan bases? Is it because it's a good job and good coaches know that you can win there and good players know that if you go there, you're going to get coached? But like, what is it about Utah State that allows you guys to kind of have this level of sustained success, no matter who's in charge or who's on the floor?
Spectrum magic is what we call it. When teams come in here and play, for some reason, it's hard to win. And I think it's a little bit of the fans, it's a little bit of the coaching, it's a little bit of everything mixed in. But it's been a fun program to be a part of for the past 3 years.
Obviously your role is completely different with Great and Darius being gone. I remember coming out for the game last year and it was awesome. I mean, honestly, it was the first time I've been there in Logan, and I told Rob, like, you got to get there. I mean, it's just hard to explain the passion that the fans have. The atmosphere is unbelievable. But the other part was being around you guys that day and just in watching you guys, watching Sprinkle, the toughness, the preparation, all of that. But your role has completely changed from last year to this year, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different, but I still try to do the same things as last year. I try to do the little things right, and I'm a firm believer that if you do the little things like boxing out and rebounding and making the right play, you're gonna do great. So I still try to do that in my game today.
Just getting more shots. That's a big
Yeah,
difference now.
yeah, I
Few
get a
more.
little bit more shots this year.
I want to ask you about going on the mission. So you spent 2 years in Brazil, was it correct?
Yeah, so because of COVID, everything, it was kind of weird. So I was in Arizona for 9 months, and then I went and finished the rest of my time out in Brazil. So I was in Brazil for a little over a year.
Where in Brazil were you?
I was in Santos, São Paulo. So it's just like on the coast of São Paulo.
All right. So talk us through and for the listeners, why do members of the Church of Latter-day Saints, why do you guys go on these missions? What is what does it provide? I mean, you're hitting pause in your life for like 2 years. Why do that? What is the value in it, and what are you trying to provide the people that you are serving this mission for?
I mean, it's definitely a choice. Not everyone that's part of our church goes on a mission, but the reason we go is we believe that what we've learned growing up could help other people and benefit other people in different parts of the world and all over the world. So, if you wanted to go do it for 2 years, you're more than welcome to go do it. And I thought it would be a good thing for me. I'm very blessed, and I grew up with a great family and with great beliefs, and I felt like that other people needed to hear about it too. So that's why I chose to do that.
What
Give
is
me a
the
great story. Give me a great story from being over in Brazil. Give me one great story. It could have been again anything.
You want, like, what type of story are you looking for? Like a crazy one or?
Sure, crazy's good. Yeah. Why not?
Oh man, I don't know. I've lots of like crazy cool stories where like people have changed my life more than I changed theirs. But like it was such a cool experience. Like there's so many people I could talk about, and miracles that I saw. Like for example, we were just teaching this one family one time, and at this point I had been in Brazil for like a month, so I couldn't even like speak Portuguese, and it was really hard. And the next day they like came to us and told us that they had like a dream or whatever, that we were sent from God, and just stuff like that, just like stuff that can't be coincidences is what I saw. And just even made my testimony even stronger about Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. So pretty cool.
what is the thing that you miss the most from Brazil, from your experience down there? Is it like a food? Is it a family you met? Is it just maybe the warm weather and the beaches down there?
I definitely miss the weather, but definitely the people. I met some amazing people over there, and I still talk to them to this day. So I built some cool relationships over there, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Are you a soccer guy now?
I tried. I couldn't do it, man. I'm so
Good
bad at
job.
soccer.
Good job, Mason. Good job. I'm not either. Um,
Well, hold on. I got one more, Jeff.
all right.
I just so while you take this mission, right? You're a high level athlete in high school. I believe you were 2 time state player of the year for basketball, and I believe the state MVP for football as well, right?
Yeah.
So you go on this mission, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like you're not working out there, right? It's not like you're training 3 hours a day and then you're gonna go and do this. You basically just kind of put all the sports stuff to the side and go and serve for 2 years. So one, are you getting like any kind of workouts in down there, trying to stay in shape at all? And two, like how hard is it to go from that to playing Division 1 Mountain West basketball again?
Yeah, no. You get 1 hour of exercise that you're supposed to do that, and it varies. It's not super strict, but you're focused on Jesus Christ and serving other people. So, and especially in Brazil, like there was no basketball. All the hoops that I played on were like 9 feet tall when I was over there, and so for about probably 6 months of my mission, I didn't get to play basketball or do anything like that when I was in Brazil. Yeah, so obviously I got back from my mission after 2 years of, not really playing competitive basketball, and I was terrible. I can't lie. Like the first week, I just remember like going home every day and I was like, man, I might play football. I got to do something else. Like there's no way I can do this. But I stuck with it, and I got a lot stronger, gained a lot of weight, good weight, and just kept climbing the ladder. It was ups and downs, but I just kept climbing.
What position did you
What's
play in football?
yeah?
So I played quarterback, wide receiver, running back, safety. They moved me around a ton. I hurt
I
my
saw
shoulder
some
my senior year.
clips. Hey, I saw some
Yeah,
clips of you running it in, bouncing off a couple tacklers. Like I was impressed. You took a few hits there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually had more offers in football than I did basketball. So,
Did you?
but I always wanted to play basketball. So,
Hey,
yeah,
you committed to Utah first, did you not?
yeah, to
And
play basketball.
okay, to play basketball, you commit. It was it Chris Koviak at that point.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
so
Coach Cristovi, I get committed to him.
you commit to Utah, to the Utes, to I think probably the evil empire over there from where you grew up, because you grew up like right? 45 minutes from Logan. And then
No.
what happened? What happened to change your mind to go from Utah to Utah State?
So actually, I live like 10 minutes away from Utah State from where I grew up.
Okay.
And, the whole decision, it was really hard. And I think it maybe have been, I was a little homesick. Maybe I wanted to be with my family and friends, but, it was something that I prayed about. And, I asked a lot of questions. And after just thinking for a really long time, I decided to go to Utah State. And it was the best thing I ever did, for sure.
I remember I once interviewed Tyler Hawes. I don't know if you know the name Tyler Hawes, but it was a story
I
about
know Tyler.
it was a story about why there are so many high level basketball players and good basketball programs in the state of Utah. And his answer was because every church has a gym in the basement and it gets cold here. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that's very true. If you don't ski, you got to play basketball. So it's one of the two.
What is it about the competitiveness in that state? Because I think you always states like in the same kind of area, whether it's Wyoming or Colorado, like they don't have that same kind of basketball pedigree at the high school level. But I feel like Utah always produces a couple of guys every year that you're like, oh wow, yeah, he can go be a top 50 guy. He can go play high major. He's got a chance to play in the NBA at some point. Like why has it worked out that way in your mind?
I think we play the right type of basketball in Utah. We make the right plays, we pass the ball, and we shoot it. And sometimes some of these players just grow a little bit more and get a little bit bigger. I don't think we have the best athletes here in Utah and Wyoming and stuff like that, but I think we play the right type of basketball. So maybe that's why. I don't know.
I call it Rocky Mountain, Indiana. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that works.
Hey, how much hairspray do you put in your hair before games? I'm told you put a lot in there by a source.
Who told you that?
I don't divulge my sources, but a lot of hairspray. And then also, Rob, he puts, there might be some truth to this. I'm not sure. Some lotion on his arm so he looks a little bit bigger.
No. And as far as hairspray, man, I don't put any. It's all natural, man. I put a little bit of cocoa butter and a little bit of gel, but
all right, I'm going to divulge my source. I'm going to turn in my source since it appears to be wrong. It is the former head coach at Utah State, the most recent.
Calhoun or Sprinkle?
No, Sprinkle, the former.
Man, he's lying. But he's probably talking about himself.
Yeah, I'm sure he put some both. He probably did both with hairspray and lotion. When I went out there last year, the one thing it was missing was a place to go and celebrate after a big win. I asked Sprinkle, I'm like, where do we go? And he's like, well, we don't really have one of those. Where do you go and celebrate after a big win? Whether it's Iowa, whoever it is, getting back to Logan.
After home games, for sure, we definitely go to Culver's because we get free ice cream if we score a certain amount of points. So, if you have a good game and you're feeling good, usually you'll stop in there and say what up to everyone and, get a few pictures or whatever. But if it's an away game and you get back, man, just hanging out with the guys probably, just chilling and hanging out.
Hey, that breakfast spot is really good. I forget the name of it, but Sprinkle took me to it before I drove through a snowstorm. What's it called?
Herms?
Yeah. Really good. Really good spot.
Herms is solid.
Big time. But like the whole team was there. It's like, what is it? The only breakfast spot in town or just the best breakfast spot?
The best breakfast spot.
All right. Sure. Everybody was there.
It's funny that you mentioned Culver's because the one time that I was at Utah State game was back in the Wild Bill days. I think it was 2011. And
oh boy,
do you remember him, like the big guy that would go shirtless?
Yeah, I remember Wild Bill.
The fairy costumes and the teapot. And and after the game, he was like, "You want to come out with us? Me and my boys are going to go out after this game." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's go." And we pull up to the ice cream spot, and he's like, "Yeah, we're all going to go get sundaes." And I was like, "This is not what I was expecting," but they were good sundaes, man. I wasn't complaining about it.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Hey, last year when I was there, you weren't shooting it great last season. You didn't. And this year you've been on fire. Was it anything you did in the offseason, or is it just more getting more reps, getting more comfortable? Because again, last year, while you had a very significant role, obviously, Great Osibor was kind of the guy on that team last year.
Yeah, I mean, you look at my stats last year, and I think I shot 30% from the three, but, I finished the ball pretty well around the rim. And so I knew going into summer, I was like, to go to the next level, I got to be able to shoot the ball. And so I changed my shot a little bit. And honestly, it's the coaching, the reps, just like you said, getting more comfortable being in front of people and shooting. So, it's just a mixture of everything. And, I hope to continue shooting good and just feeling more confident throughout the year. And hopefully I just get better and better.
If you can keep up 58% from three, my man, you're going to lead the country in 3-point shooting. So, just keep it up over 40. If you can hit over 40 this year, I assume that would be a goal that you set even in the preseason. Yeah. If you could shoot 40, that would be a hell of a year, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just make sure after you load up the gel in your hair to wash your hands. You don't want to have them be too sticky when you're trying to get that clean release on the jumper.
Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate the tip.
All right, last thing I got for you, Mason, then we'll let you go. You see the background of Jeff's shot there. You see the Las Vegas Sphere. You can see the Raider Stadium back there. I'm pretty sure that's the Bellagio over Jeff's right shoulder. You guys have a tournament that you're going to be playing in there in the second week of March. If you guys are going to be in a spot where you can get a high seed in that tournament, where you got a chance to go and win that tournament, what is the most important thing that has to happen for your team to be able to put yourself in a place where you can win, where you can compete for titles this year in the Mountain West?
I think we got to be a lot tougher. The Mountain West is a super physical league. Got a lot of really talented teams that just rebound the ball. Boise and San Diego State, they rebound the ball. And I think if we can rebound the ball and just pass the ball and make the right plays, I think we'll be in a good spot. But I think one thing we got to really focus on is just boxing out and rebounding and pushing the ball like we have been so far.
I like that, Rob. Rob, we don't generally get answers like that. We generally get, what do we get, Rob? If you ask that question, generally, what are we getting?
We got to be great teammates. We really just got to stick together. If we stick together, then we're going to win. I appreciate that. That's a
a good answer. That was
insightful
and honest.
Yeah. No, I think our teammates get along great, and we got a lot of depth, and I just love our team, man. We're all happy for each other, and we're happy for each other's success. So, I think we're going to go a long way just because of that. But, I can see, and I remember from last year, that's why we lost a lot of games, just because of rebounding. So,
well, listen, man, we appreciate the time, Mason. Best of luck the rest of the season, and go treat yourself to some Culver's right now, man. You deserve some ice cream.
I appreciate it.